Okay, my 18th review of the marathon is the Dungeonmaster, also known as Ragewar, from 1984. There were 3 different versions on the disc that I watched. The pre-release Ragewar, Ragewar the International cut, and the Dungeonmaster the US cut. I watched the pre-release cut of Ragewar, which is the longest version of the movie, and also the only one that has all 7 challenges in order that they appear in the credits. The 2 other cuts messed around with the order that the challenges appear in, which I think is weird. I haven't watched the other 2 cuts. I would maybe potentially consider going back and watching just to see how different they are. But even the longest version that I watched was barely over an hour. It's like an hour and 17 minutes or something. I would barely call this, like, this is very loosely horror, but it does still get the horror tag in on IMDb. But I would call this more like a sci-fi adventure movie. I actually really liked it. It had heavy metal music. The actor who plays the Dungeon Master is awesome. The practical effects that they used, all the different monster suits and stuff, I really liked it. I was surprised. A lot of times I will pick things just because they're really short. But I actually really like this. They got a different director to direct each of the 7 different challenges or whatever. Ted Nicola, or however you pronounce his last name, the guy who created Subspecies in the Vampire Journals, directed the car desert chase one. Charles Band directed another segment. I can't remember which one he did. It was super cool. They got some big horror directors from the 80s to come and direct some of these segments, so I thought that was cool. Like I said, the effects were really cool. The statue was cool. The CGI parts with all the flashing lights, not so much, but that's fine. There wasn't too much of that. It was mostly like puppets and seats and stuff, which I much prefer. So yeah, thumbs up. I liked it. I probably won't in several years go back and watch the other cuts of this, but I would potentially watch the other cuts. I'm so glad the disc that I watched had descriptions of each of the 3 different versions, telling me what's different in each one so that I could look and pick to see which one I wanted to watch. Usually that doesn't happen, and I have to get on the internet and try to scour and find who's watched this obscure movie and can tell me the differences between the different versions so I know which one I want to watch. But yeah, super fun. I like this a lot. Thumbs up.